What happened to Johnny Depp? So, what exactly happened with Johnny Depp? Well, that's a little hard to explain. We all heard about the drama that happened a while ago with his ex Amber Heard, where they both accused each other of domestic violence and ended up both in court. Let's jump into details. The couple began dating in 2012 after Depp split up with his longtime partner and the mother of his children, Vanessa Paradis. Heard had also broken up with partner Tassia Van Ray at the same time. USA Today reported that Heard was arrested at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington in 2009 on the charge of violently assaulting then-girlfriend Van Ray. After Heard reportedly grabbed and hit Van Ray's arm, the two got into a disagreement. However, with Van Ree herself saying that Heard was wrongfully accused by cops who misinterpreted and over-sensualized the incident, all charges were dismissed. In 2014, Depp and Heard's engagement was announced and later tied the knot in a private ceremony after almost a year. The controversy started in May 2016 when Heard filed a domestic violence restraining order alleging excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse a few days after filing for divorce against Depp, and said it was usually while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. She also added that Depp had violently attacked her and in a rage and threw a mobile phone at her face with extreme force. However, a police spokesman told People that an investigation into the domestic incident radio call found that no crime had taken place. Depp in his turn denied these allegations and said that Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. In a deposition, Heard appeared under oath, but a settlement was ultimately reached after she withdrew her request for a restraining order for domestic abuse. She rescinded her $50,000 a month spousal support request as well. Depp and Heard also released a joint statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm." Heard ended up receiving $7 million from the divorce but donated it to a charity, according to People magazine. Their divorce was finalized in January 2017. Heard kept the dogs that were at the center of the 2015 scandal in which the couple failed to declare the animals in Australia. Meanwhile, Depp retained sole possessions of all the properties, including his private island in the Bahamas, as well as his collection of classic cars and motorcycles. In December 2018, for the Washington Post, Heard wrote an op-ed in which she spoke about the prosecution of women in cases of domestic violence. She wrote, "I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out." However, Depp was never mentioned by name in that post. But that, however, didn't let it pass just like that. He filed a lawsuit against her for it. The suit, which is for $50 million, says Heard is not a victim of domestic abuse, she is a predator. The suit also denies that Depp ever abused Heard and claims that her allegations were part of an elaborate hoax to generate positive publicity for the star. The op-ed depended on the central premise that Miss Heard was a domestic abuse victim and that Mr. Depp perpetuated domestic violence against her. Depp's lawyers allege. Amber's attorney responded with saying that the frivolous action is just the latest of Johnny Depp's repeated efforts to silence Amber Heard, and that his actions prove he is unable to accept the truth of his ongoing abusive behavior. Heard claimed that she still had scars on her arms and feet from an incident where Depp allegedly threw her through a ping-pong table and dragged her through broken glass. In January 2020, phone records obtained by the Daily Mail were released. In these recordings, Heard admitted to hitting Depp. She clearly was heard saying, "I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. You're not punched. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you." Another point in the recording, Depp says, "I do not want to leave you. I do not want a divorce. I do not want you out of my life. I just want peace. If things get physical, we have to separate." Heard says she can't promise as she will be perfect or won't be physical again. Depp continues by saying, "I love you and I want you to be my wife, and I want to be your husband." Depp responded, "And I want to be a good husband. If I haven't been, I'll do everything I can to find out how to be a good husband." In July 7, the 3-week Libel trial began. In reference to Depp and Heard's former marriage, Depp battled News Group Newspapers, the publisher of The Sun, in court over a 2018 story in which they branded him a wife-beater. Depp sued Dan Wooten, the publisher and The Sun's executive editor, for libel. Meanwhile, Paradise wrote that Heard's accusations are nothing like the true Johnny I have known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or abusive to me. In the trial, Depp claimed that in his bed, Heard defecated and punched him, which she denies, and he also accused her of having extramarital affairs with James Franco and Elon Musk. Judge Mr. Justice Nicole ruled that The Sun was right to report that Depp was abusive towards his ex-wife Amber Heard, 3 months after the blockbuster trial began. Nicole pointed to 14 different events in reaching his decision that The Sun's lawyers cited to justify calling Depp a wife-beater. John Depp firmly denied any accusations that he was abusive towards Heard, and his lawyers said in a statement issued shortly after the ruling, "This decision is as perverse as it is bewildering." Most troubling is the judge's reliance on the testimony of Amber Heard and corresponding disregard of the mountain of counter-evidence from police officers, medical practitioners, or her own former assistant, other unchallenged witnesses, and an array of documentary evidence which completely undermined the allegations point by point. All of this was overlooked. The judgment is so flawed that it would be ridiculous for Mr. Depp not to appeal this decision. In the meantime, we hope that in contrast to this case, the ongoing libel proceedings in America are equitable, with both parties providing full disclosure rather than one side strategically cherry-picking what evidence can and cannot be relied upon. Following the loss of the court, 4 days to be exact, Johnny Depp declared that he was stepping back from Fantastic Beasts 3. "I wish to let you know that I have been asked to resign by Warner Bros. From my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I have respected and agreed to that request," the actor posted on Instagram. He continued, "Finally, I wish to say this. The serial judgment of the court in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I confirm that I plan to appeal." The third film in the Fantastic Beasts saga had already begun production, and Warner Bros. Announced his departure to Variety in a statement published shortly after Depp's post. The studio said, "We thank Johnny for his work on the films to date." But the movie star, in all his ruin, has managed to keep hold of his reported US $5 million deal with Christian Dior men's fragrance. Savage still, the scandal isn't slowing down sales of the perfume. The Guardian recently reported that defiant Depp fans have been buying the fragrance to support the star after Dior aired Depp's ad during the highly rated The Great British Bake Off. British branding expert Jitendra Sidav said, "Dior is feeling a lot of pressure right now to do the right thing and ditch Depp. But in today's market, and particularly with millennials, silence is complicit." However, later that month, Depp had the intention to overturn the judgment, but in a setback for the Pirates of the Caribbean star, the judge denied permission to appeal, saying, "I do not consider that the proposed grounds of appeal have a reasonable prospect of success." In a ruling made public on Wednesday, the judge also ordered Depp to make an initial payment of almost $840,000 to News Group Newspapers, publisher of The Sun, to cover its legal fees. The judge also gave Depp until December 7 to apply at the Court of Appeal. The drama is still going on until today, and no one actually knows where the actor is heading with his personal life nor with his career, because many fear about his reputation after he was officially addressed as a wife-beater.